You're listening to the Team Stripes podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 76 of the Team Stripes podcast, proudly presented by Acme Whistles, helping you make the big calls since 1870. The legendary Acme Thunderer is now available in matte black. Ross, how are you today?
Dude, I'm happy to be back on with you. Took, I guess, the last, one or two episodes off. I think you did two solo.
Two-week vacation.
Yeah, just, life happens. And, you had the laptop issue, and then I'm dealing with school, and finals are coming up. So, it's nice to be back with you. Nice to talk to you again, dude. Looking forward to this episode. Got some stuff we're going to talk about, some health, fitness, nutrition stuff. I think we're gonna touch on some mental health stuff too, which is kind of a big thing in my world with what I kind of deal with every day. And then we're gonna talk about, we got NCAA that kicked off, so that's going to be coming. We're going to be doing some NCAA talk, and obviously, I think the biggest news of the day, as we record this today on Monday, is the NHL and Adidas unveiling the reverse retro sweaters. I was really excited for this. I think you were too. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and dive straight in. I think we'll break it down by division because I have it by division broken down. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get into some jersey talk here. So, do you want to start with the Pacific Division?
Yeah, let's start with that. My list.
Okay, so for the Pacific Division, we can start with your favorite team.
Oh, the Calgary Flames. Okay. I just want to say this. Blasty is back, and I am buying 17 of those jerseys. I don't care. They are sick. They are awesome. I'm so glad Blasty's back.
And for those of you that don't know, Blasty's the horse's name.
It's the Flamin' Horse. It's back. They look sick. I mean, like, compared to what they were back in the day, I don't think a whole lot has changed when they were first released in 2000. But
I like the simple piping on the bottom and on the sleeves. Just the yellow and red is so nice on that black sweater. They did a good job. Good job, boys.
It's so clean and classy. I love it. Can't wait for them to release.
So the Vegas one we'll talk about real quick. It's a touch and a nod to the Vegas Thunder of the International Hockey League. It's basically the same jersey design that IHL team used, just with a red base. The shoulder logo is the primary, and then obviously the gray, gold, and black. Like it's not Vegas enough for me.
Yeah, they unfortunately landed in the bad column on my list. I don't know why, but whenever I see a team that's not generally a red colored jersey and a red colored jersey, I don't like the look of it. The Vegas jerseys just they're at best. Like they're not good, unfortunately. I'm sure Vegas fans are happy about it, but
yeah, I mean they're cool. They're just
the logo is cool, but I mean I think they could have done a lot of other different things with it.
Oh, I think they could have as well. So we'll roll on to the LA Kings, going Laker colors, purple and gold. They're good-looking sweaters. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of those in the stands during Lakers games. I feel like it hits that Lakers market as well as the Kings market, going to the purple and gold. And years ago, back when the owner of the Lakers and the Kings was the same guy, the Kings did used to wear the purple and gold.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, they're awesome. The purple looks clean. I think it's a good design. It's simple. It's classic. I like them.
So then we got the Ducks bringing back Wild Wing, which was amazing. It had to happen. The Coyotes brought back the desert coyote head.
The Kachina?
Yeah. They brought back that jersey. Instead of it being black, it's purple now. The Oilers, status quo for them. though it is the first time that the Oilers have had an orange shoulder on a white sweater.
Interesting. So
And then we'll round out the Pacific real quick. The Sharks went gray, and the Canucks took their old third jersey that used to be that like burgundy fading into like blue. Now it's green fading into blue, which fits their color scheme. Great job. It's the same jersey, different colors, all good though. So I think we're good there.
yeah,
Anything else on the
really
Pacific?
quick. I liked Vancouver's a lot. I think the green's an interesting color. The Oilers, I felt like they could have done a lot more. To me, they look like what would be their home jerseys just on the road.
Yeah.
But really quickly, the Ducks and Arizona are sick. I really, really, really like.
Yeah, they
the
went
Ducks
back to
ones.
that 1996. The first year of the third jerseys feel.
Yeah, and the Kachina is always perfect in Arizona. Arizona loves it. The fans love it there. I think the purple looks good with it. I'm happy with everybody in the Pacifics besides, Vegas's and the Oilers, but I might be a little bit biased against the Oilers as well.
Fair enough. So we'll jump over to the Metro. Number one thing that stuck out for me with the Metro was the Hurricanes going full Hartford Whalers.
Yep.
Thank God. Good job, boys.
They look good too.
And then there's so many good ones in the Metro. So then you got Lady Liberties back for the Rangers. The Devils going green. The Islanders got lazy.
They forgot the due date.
Yeah, they completely forgot the due date, and we're like, oh shit, what do we do?
Here's a jersey.
I'm digging the Flyers. Pittsburgh, I like. Columbus, get out of here. Terrible. Too much red. Because the logo has red and the sweater is red. Too much red for me.
Yeah.
And then the Washington Capitals, I used to love the bronze and blue Capitals sweater with the Screaming Eagle. So the red, white, and blue Screaming Eagle sweater's doing it for me.
I do like the Capitals sweater. I think kind of in the same boat as you. Like, I always loved that eagle. Yeah, the red looks a little bit weird to me, but I think it would work. But yeah, like Hartford Whaler jerseys looks amazing. I didn't like the Rangers third jersey because we've seen those before. I understand it's a throwback.
I have the white Lady Liberty jersey, which is one of my all-time favorites. So I'm digging this blue one.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I just like the logo.
And to me, like, yeah, I don't know why. I'm just not a fan of them. The Flyers, a basic jersey. I think all they did was really change up the shoulders of it.
Yeah.
The Devils, though, I really hope they have a game on Boxing Day or the December 26th. That way they can wear those jerseys because it's a Christmas
they got to wear them on
tree.
St. Patrick's Day.
I know. I love them. They look like Christmas, and I love it. The Islanders, they forgot to put in a jersey. Apparently,
legit, all the Islanders did was flip the white and orange stripes.
Yeah,
on the arms and on the bottom. Like, are you kidding me?
So apparently they're doing it to honor the 1980 season and the start of their dynasty, which I understand the theory behind it, but like,
where's the fisherman?
That exact jersey. Yeah, like bring back the fisherman. Like bring back something. I guess
we
iconic.
Want fish sticks.
I agree.
Do you know the story about that? Back when they used to play against the Rangers, wearing the fisherman jersey, the crowd used to chant, "We want fish sticks."
That's great
because it looks like the Gordon's fisherman. And then what's funny is the jersey with the waves and shit on it. They kept the jersey and got rid of the Gordon's fisherman and brought back the old, New York Islander logo.
Yeah,
they got tired of, or at least, whatever. They got tired of the fans when they played the Rangers or even the Devils chanting, "We want fish sticks."
I mean, I don't blame him for that. I would have liked to see him come back. I think everybody would have liked to see him come back.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that was one of the big disappointments of the day was everyone was like, "Where's the fisherman?"
yeah, I mean, like the Islanders didn't do a whole lot. They switched two colors around,
Yeah.
that was disappointing. But
We can jump to the Central.
yes,
So Chicago, we've seen these
we
before.
did they wear them at a Winter Classic or something?
Very similar.
It was one of their 19 outdoor games.
Yeah.
I put them down as bad just because we've seen them before.
Dallas.
Horrible.
I like it with all the white, but also I don't like it because it's too white.
It looks so weird. Like no.
The
I
logo's
hated
like
them.
whitewashed too.
Yeah, I hated them. I still hate them. They're just it's weird.
The Predators, it's mustard stain 2.0.
At least their shoulders are white.
Yeah, I like that they brought back the silver shoulders from their original jerseys.
But the mustard yellow. Failed attempt once. It's going to be a failed attempt again.
St. Louis Blues.
I love them.
This sweater
Love them.
is one of my all-time favorites. The white one and the blue one. That they were wearing them the year that Gretzky played for them because he got traded from the Kings to the Blues to try to win a cup.
Mm-hmm.
Love the diagonal stripe jersey. I love that they went red with it. Well done. The Jets jersey, throwback to the old Winnipeg Jets with the new colors.
I like the black a lot.
Two of the biggest winners of the day, the Minnesota Wild.
Gorgeous.
And the Quebec Nordique, Colorado Avalanche. Minnesota bringing back that North Stars look. Just beautiful. I would kill to see the Wild just go to this color scheme, the yellow and the green and white.
I was going to say it looks clean and like you said, like I really think the Wild did a great job there. Definitely overshadowed though by the Avalanche.
Because the Avalanche jersey is by far one of the best of the day. I think it might be my number one.
Yeah, I don't even like the Avs, but like they're just clean jerseys. They still have all the Avalanche colors in them. I like the light blue for the lettering.
It's the Quebec It is legitimately the Quebec Nordique jersey with Colorado colors. I am personally going to be buying one with number 19 Sakic on the back to add to my jersey collection. That's going to happen. It's a beautiful jersey. I was an Avs fan as a kid, so like, oh my goodness. And I was a fan of theirs when they were still in Quebec too. So it was like this one it definitely does something for me.
They knew they had to bring out the Nordiques and they did it perfectly.
Oh, they did. They did for sure. And then we're going to jump to the final division, the Atlantic. Boston yellowed sweater with the
spoked bee.
Teddy with the spoked bee, that's fine, but that like early 90s confused looking teddy bear on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Buffalo, I was really hoping for the goat head on the crest instead of the sabers, but they did it on the shoulders. It's a throwback to their black and red with the cross sabers. Well done. Detroit got lazy.
Well, hold on. For Buffalo,
okay,
the
we'll
only
go back
thing
to Buffalo.
I don't like is the
Buffalo on the bottom.
Yeah, like across the I don't know, like the stomach area of the jersey.
Yeah.
To me, like I'm just like, yo, like let's not put lettering on that jersey, and I think it's that much better.
Yeah, I think they could have left off the Buffalo Sabres word mark.
Yeah, but Detroit.
I'm blaming this one 100% on Steve Yzerman for being like, wait, we have to make a jersey. What's our practice jersey look like? Add some gray to it.
1,000%. It looks like a practice jersey. They just added gray to it,
or silver or whatever.
Yeah,
I get that it's supposed to be a homage to that 1990 or the 97-98 team that went back to back. I get it, but it's got Steve Yzerman written all over it just because of how lazy, or not really, I wouldn't say lazy, but just simple it is.
They're weird. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think we can just leave it at that.
Yeah.
The Canadians going with a blue base with the red stripe. I like it. I dig it.
I like it a lot.
Ottawa going bright red.
Yeah, I really wish they
did that.
changed up the shoulders just to add some more color.
Yeah, maybe go black shoulders or even gold shoulders.
Something. Because the all red is yikes in my opinion.
With the rebrand though, I get it. They're just trying to
I don't mind the logo. Like the logo.
I love that they went back to the 2D logo.
I would have just liked to see a different color on the shoulders or just another splash of color somewhere that's not just screaming at you red.
Toronto basically did their 70s sweater with
clean
silver
as always
instead of white. So one of my big disappointments of the day. I love the Panthers bringing back the Leaping Panther, one of my all-time favorite logos in all sports. I really wish they wouldn't have had a blue base just because I would kill to see the Lightning play the Panthers in color jerseys. It's the only reason why I'm upset with their jersey, because it's like, man, you guys could have gone red, but the jersey used to be red with the blue shoulders, so I understand why they did it.
I think the blue looks better though.
It does.
For the Panthers.
It's just being selfish reasons for me.
That's fair.
And then my Tampa Bay Lightning brought back the OG sweater, except turned it blue.
So they did absolutely nothing.
We got the victory stripes. We got the white shoulders, the white piping at the bottom with the black trim. But yeah, I don't know.
Nothing.
Like, they didn't do anything. It does it for me because, like, I always wanted a blue Lightning jersey with the old logo. But I was really hoping for, like, a modern take on the OG Lightning third jersey.
Those, like, all black ones? Yes.
No, the Storm sweater with, the lightning bolts on the sleeves, and it's got the really long gray shoulder down to the elbow for storm clouds.
Yep.
And then there's rain on the jersey. I just kind of wish they would have, gone there, but I'll take it. I tell you, I miss our original logo. The one under Oren Koulis was crappy because they updated it, makes it look, modern. I like our original logo. I kind of wish we'd bring it back permanently because I don't know. I just don't like how simple our team is right now.
I like the Tampa logo that they have on the reverse jerseys.
Yeah,
and if they made that, if they made that the normal home jersey, like, I think they're clean.
No complaints out of me.
No, but I mean for what they did for this jersey reveal throwback, whatever you want to call it, like, they just stamped a logo onto their blue jersey.
But I am gonna say this: it's the first time all 31 teams participated in a third jersey program together, and overall, I think it was well done by Adidas. They're gonna definitely generate some revenue from more. There are more jerseys for some teams than others, that's for sure. But I think they hit what they were going for. So kudos to you, Adidas and National Hockey League, for the reverse retro sweaters.
Yeah, I really want these jerseys to be worn every game, if we're being honest, especially Blasty. I mean, I just keep looking at the Flames black one, and I'm just like, man, like, if those were our normal home jerseys, like, that would be sick. But obviously they are just third jerseys. I really do like them. I made a list. I had 11 of them that I absolutely loved, 11 that I thought were, pretty okay, and then 9 that I think they missed the ball on, whether it's because we've already seen it before or I just, like Columbus or Dallas, they just missed the mark, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, on the reverse retro jerseys, what do you guys think? Let us know in our comment section on whether it be on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever other form of media that you will be taking this in on, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, whatever. Tell us which of the reversed retro jerseys is your favorite and your least favorite. Let's get a little feedback from you guys. So obviously we brought up earlier, our interview is about fitness and eating right and doing that kind of stuff. But I think we should take some time to talk about some mental health stuff. It's something that we as a society don't really talk about as much as we should. Myself, I am a veteran of the military. I served 5 years in the Air Force. So obviously, there's in the military, there's a stigma about having any kind of mental health issues, which I will be 100% honest. And I've told Brenden this and the other guys with the podcast, I do have some health issues. I do struggle with a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety, which I just started new meds and all that kind of stuff for. So I'm doing a heck of a lot better. But during the season, we have our highs and lows, just like anything else in life, and we want to talk about how to cope with it. So, like, I'm doing a lot of talking. So, Brenden, what are some things that you like to do when you're feeling either stressed, run down, boiled over, burnt out? When you're during the season.
It's a weird question or tough question, I think, to answer because there's so many parts to it. I think a lot of us, we skate so many games a year that you're eventually going to get burnt out. Like for me personally, like I skate pretty close to 500 games a year, give or take a few games either way.
You're nuts.
Yeah, exactly. So if you think about it, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot because you're like, oh, that's if you average it out, it's still less than one per day. But still, I mean,
it's more than one a day if you're at 500.
Sorry, it's less than two a day. Which when you think about it, a two banger every day doesn't sound that bad, but we're also cramming it into 9 months. So I think a lot of it for me is I like to plan out my season into almost like thirds or even like every few months. So like for generally what I'll do is from September, so Labor Day weekend's the big kickoff start in Dallas. So from Labor Day till Thanksgiving, I go absolutely just balls to the walls, crazy, skate as many games as I can. And then at Thanksgiving, I generally shut down for about a week just to regroup, mentally reset, whatever. Just, get a week's rest. Don't look at hockey. Don't think about hockey. Just relax, hang out with family, friends, whatever. And then it's generally the 3 weeks in between Thanksgiving and Christmas in the US is like we always have, 2 or 3 tournaments in that time period in Dallas. So a lot of it for me is like, hey, let's just get to Christmas. And then at Christmas, I take 2 weeks off. Like I do not touch my skates for 2 weeks. From Christmas to the new year, I will not be on my skates. That's just something like I found for me personally, that's how I avoid getting super burnt out because like there's times where, especially like right now, I'm so close to Thanksgiving, but I still have another tournament weekend to get through. And it's like, man, like I have to get through 10 more games before I get a week off. But you just keep telling yourself like, hey, I get a week off in these 10 games. But speaking to, I guess, the highs and lows of it, for me, I mean, like I've gone through the highs and lows like everybody else has reffing. There's times where I felt like I should be in the National Hockey League, and then there's other times where I've left the rink wanting to sell my gear, might just throw it off the highway, on the way home. For me to get through those, I think I'm a little bit different in the sense of like I'll just keep reffing. I mean, like if I know I'm in a slump, I will.
So you kind of just do the just keep swimming route.
Yeah,
you just keep going. You push through.
Because I mean, eventually in my head, I'm like, I'll have a good game, and when I have that good game, it's a breakthrough. Because I mean, even going into this last weekend for us in Dallas, like I wouldn't say I was in a slump, but I was definitely feeling myself getting into one. And
Mhm.
then I worked one game this weekend that it was a 18U double A, triple A game, whatever it was, and I was banding it in 3-man, and it just went perfectly. I mean, there was
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 penalties. I called them all. I saw everything. It was great. And it was like cool, like my energy's back up to 1,000. Put me on every single game you can because I'm ready to skate again. Um,
Mhm.
but like, I mean, I think a lot of us know when we're in a slump, and it's just, hey, realize that you're in a slump and figure out what works for you to get out of it. I know some guys like to go get just a really good hard workout in. Some guys you might even need a break. Other guys like me, it's just, hey, just keep swimming, and eventually one game it's
Yeah.
gonna work.
So, I mean, for me, I never used to take breaks. I went years and years in a row without ever really taking any time off, and now I have to do it. During the off season, I try to stay away from the rink for like men's league and stuff for at least a month or two. 'Cause I need that decompression time. Or like I'll do like one men's league set here and there just to stay on my feet, stay on my skates. But I definitely take that time away. And I know like when I was doing full time, you start getting in your own head about shit. You
Mm-hmm.
start, you're self evaling while you're on the ice. You're like, oh crap, I just did that wrong, or I just did this wrong. And it's so easy to just get into your head about every little thing. Like, oh, should I have covered my partner's line there, or should I have done this, or should I have tossed that center? Like, it's little things to the point where if you keep getting into your own head like that, you just turn into your own worst enemy. And then no matter how good or bad of like an eval you'll get, you're still like, nah, I effed up, you know. It just, and then it snowballs. And then once it snowballs, you're like, crap, now what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
So it's finding that way to get out of it. And usually for me, it's either time off or just trying to reassess where I'm at and not get into my own head about stuff. It's like, okay, if I wasn't, good enough to be here, I wouldn't be here. So clearly I'm good enough to be here. So, okay, that's step one. Step two, all right, let's start doing the little things right again. Let's work on, making sure, we're getting the the correct center stick down first, for like junior or pro hockey, and then we're working on other little things that all compile, and then all of a sudden you're right back and you got your game put together again, and you're not in your head about stuff. So like if you do simple tasks, say, okay, here's what I'm work on today, do this right. Okay, cool, I did this right yesterday, now I'm going to do this stuff right. So those simple tasks add up, and then boom, you're right back to, okay, like I got my whole game together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I actually I really do like that, and I really agree with that. For
And then
me,
I was going to say too, another thing to do, if you only work one or two rinks, if there are other rinks that you can work at, go work at those other rinks,
mm-hmm.
because seeing the same guys over and over and over again, you wouldn't think it takes its toll on you, but it does. Because like, storylines then develop. Like, you're not just going into the rink seeing team A and team B, you're seeing the guy that you've argued with over something stupid for the last 6 weeks. And now you're like, fuck, I got this guy's team again. So now you're already walking in there like, why do I got to deal with this? So, if you can change venues or try not to see the same teams over and over again, that's another thing to help avoid burnout.
Yeah, I also like the mindset of, for me in a hockey game, like when I'm working a North American League game and then a 3 game, for my periods, I break them up into quarters. So
Yep.
it's a 5-minute segment for me.
Yep.
So it's, hey, let's get through these first
Well,
5 minutes.
that's like working pro hockey. We get our media timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, doing like if I'm doing a game in Orlando or wherever, it's like, okay, so I got to make it from 20 to 15. There's 5 minutes. Cool. Let's get our water break. Let's talk to our partner. Go talk to our referee. Like, and decompress for that minute that we get that media timeout. And then, are there medias in the NA?
Yeah, we generally get one at the 10-minute mark. It's hit and miss,
Okay.
though.
But even that one, like even
it's
getting
huge.
to break down your periods into, 2 10-minute periods instead, so 6 total instead of, 3 straight 20s.
Mhm.
Like you don't get that, like that mental break at those media timeouts is huge to decompress, reassess, and, get yourself back out there.
I very much agree with that because, like, for me, like, there's been nights where I've come off from the first period. I was like, damn, that was just a bad period. Whether it was
Yeah.
I might not even have missed something. It might have just I was a step off the game. I was a step slow here. I was whatever it may be. But then it's like, okay, you come out for the second period. You get through the first 5 minutes. The only thing I'm focused on is getting that clock from 20 to 15. Once it gets under 15, I'm like, cool, I made it through these 5 minutes perfectly. Let's get through the next 5. And then, like you said, you get your TV timeout. You look at your partner and you're like, well, hey, I'm buzzing now. Like I'm buzzing. Yep. And then the rest of the game is just, hey, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. For me, that's something that's really helped me. I mean, I'll do that even in a youth game. Obviously, we don't get TV timeouts, things like that. But like in a game that I'm wearing the bands, like this weekend we had the NAP showcase in town. So they use 17-minute periods. And so my thing was, So my thing was,
is there a cut?
There was a cut at 8.5 minutes of the second. So they split the game in half.
Okay, that's not terrible. At least you get that one ice cut.
Yeah, I kind of liked it because it was for me it was, okay, get through the first 7 minutes of this hockey game. Now I only have 10 minutes in a period. Get through the next 5. Get through the next 5. Now you start the second period. There's 8.5 minutes on the board.
Yep.
It's like just get through these next 4 minutes. Get through the next 4.5 minutes, and then you have 15 minutes to reset, regroup, figure out what you missed, figure out what's going wrong with this hockey game, and then you have a whole nother half a game to fix it. I mean, I do that constantly in youth games. Like, we'll make a bad penalty and I'll be like, okay, cool. Like, let's just get over this. Let's regroup, figure out what went wrong, and just keep going.
Yep. Makes sense. So yeah, like segmenting games is definitely an easy tool that you can use like mentally to keep yourself, there. Because it's definitely hard when you don't get those breaks, that's for sure.
I mean, we're skating the full 60 minutes, so it's not like a player where, hey, you can have one bad shift, go think about it for a few minutes. It's you make a bad call, it could directly impact the game. Yep. You hope it doesn't, but sometimes it does.
I think another thing, like don't get overly critical of yourself until after the game, and maybe ask your partner, hey, have anything for me? Or if it's a game that was recorded, maybe go back and watch it and do some kind of self-evaluation that way. But while you're on the ice, don't worry about that stuff. Like, obviously worry about it, know when you're not in position and stuff like that, but don't like harp on yourself about it, because if you do, you're going to start going down the rabbit hole. And then when you go down that rabbit hole, it takes a while to come back out of it.
Yeah, you definitely can't dwell on the mistakes made. I mean, look, we've all missed an offside. We've all, messed up in icing, whether it's been hybrid or whatever. Goalies come out. The other guy was going to get it, whatever. You kind of, for me personally, like if I mess up, I'll go to the coach and say, hey, I messed up there. My bad. We'll be better. Yeah. And I think that's really all you can do. I mean, the best example of that for me, even yesterday, I was 3-manning a game. Two kids were behind me, and I saw them, but play's already deep in the other zone, so I'm focused on that. I look back to where those two kids were, and one kid's motionless on the ice. And I'm like,
Ruh-roh.
what the hell just happened? Because all I saw was two kids turning. Now one kid's down. Like, what happened? And blew my whistle because his team had the puck, whatever. Blew my whistle. My linesman looks at me, and I was like, oh, shit, I missed something. I obviously missed something. And he comes up to me. He's like, hey, he just cross-checked him in the head. And I was like cross-checked him in the head? He's like, cross-checked him in the head. And I was like, cool, we got a 5-game then. So
Perfect.
now I have to go over to the coach, and the coach, I will give it to him. He tried to act a little bit dumb, but I didn't let him. It was one of those things where I was like, hey, 24's got to go home, gave him a 5-game head contact. And he's like, well, you didn't see it. And I was like, you're right. Like, I missed it. I was like, I'm looking at the other 8 guys.
But my linesman
hockey.
can call majors.
Exactly. And so it was one of those things where in my head I was like, damn, like I knew there was something that was going to happen back there, and for some reason I didn't watch because I was like, hey, the puck's down 200 feet away. And thankfully I had some amazing linesmen that watched and picked it up. But like it's one of those things where it's like,
well,
you could sit there and dwell that, oh, I missed that penalty that I probably shouldn't have. Or you can say, hey, you know what? My linesman covered my ass for me. Let's finish out the next 30 minutes of this hockey game.
that happened to me 2 weekends ago. I sent you guys the clip.
Yep.
Fucking commentators threw me under the bus.
Yes, they did.
You know what? I think we're going to add that clip into this. So here's the clip.
Laz Cable whacked in the back by Bennett Blake. Missed by penalty coming up. Ross Grimaldi was told by his linesman he didn't see it momentarily.
So it was 3-on-3 overtime, and I'm just kind of skating down the ice, following the play, and watching where the puck was. So I got, puck happy. I was tunnel visioned on the puck.
As a linesman normally would be.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm a linesman. I don't know why they let me referee, but I do a decent job. Anywho, so then I get up to my line partner, who will be a guest on this podcast very soon, Sammy Klein, and she goes, "Put your arm in the air." I said, "Okay." So I put my arm in the air. Like, I don't know why. I look over. I mean, I see a guy. I'm like, okay, that kid probably got slashed, but whatever. So I got my arm in the air. I blow it when the offending team touches the puck, and I go, "You for a slash," and the coach is going nuts. Meanwhile, we're watching the clip afterwards, and the commentator's like, Ross Grimaldi definitely didn't see that penalty. His linesman told him to put his arm in the air. Damn straight she did.
Who cares? It works.
And it's funny because I've been told, coming up, hey, if we're a team out there, and if it's something that egregious, even if it's a minor, and if you're a linesman, tell your referee, hey, put your arm up.
Mm-hmm.
And if they ask why, say, don't worry about it. Just put your arm in the air, and I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah. I think that's also a big thing that we have to touch on is that we are a team on the ice. As much as
so
you
if one
are
of you
competing,
is slumping, and if one of you is slumping, that affects the whole team. So, like, for the guys that you're on the ice with, if they know you're in a slump, or if I get to the rink and I'm working with Brenden and I know he's in a slump, I'm going to do everything I can to help him out to make sure he gets out of it. Yeah,
because, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we are competing amongst each other for spots in games, but at the end of the day, we are a team. And, I mean, there's been games where I've looked at my partner and I said, you're going to carry me tonight, and unfortunately, that's how it's going to be. And then there's been other nights where my partners looked at me.
For me.
Yeah, like my partners looked at me and said, yo, I'm going to need you to carry me. And I'm like, yo, I got you. Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, for me personally, like, I thought this was a great topic to talk about today, just because, like, we have a great interview that I think we should throw over to pretty quickly here with Fabian.
Yeah,
Perez.
let's go over to the interview, and then we'll wrap up our mental health talk and call it an episode.
So Fabian is a He is the strength and conditioning coach at Robert Morris University. He works with the D1, men's, women's, hockey, soccer, and rowing teams. And so he was able to give us so much more information that 95% of it went straight over my head because I'm not smart enough to understand half of it about the training and the nutrition side of hockey. So without further ado, let's send this over to Fabian. And this interview is proudly sponsored by Acme Thunderer, helping you make the big call since 1870. The legendary Acme Thunderer is now available in matte black. Over to Fabian. Speaking on conditioning, I think a lot of people put conditioning like, oh, you have to be in shape, blah, blah, blah. But like you just kind of said like, hey, maybe don't do conditioning at the gym, leave that for the ice.
Yes, exactly. And like that I specifically mean because what is the point of your body needs a point of recovery, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can only build so much of what you destroy. And if you're constantly destroying, you're risking yourself as an injury that can happen along the way. It's like if you squat every day, your squat's not going to get any better. It's the law of diminishing returns, you know? So you have to break it down, let yourself recover, and then break it down again. You might not be breaking down as much muscle when you're doing cardio exercises, like when you're doing sprints and stuff. But sprinting is one of the most crucial aspects of exercise, being that is you're putting so much force into every sprint that it's more than doing like a 1 rep max squat, because you're trying to throw your entire body forward. It's like even the way you skate, you use your arms to propel you forward. You're in a lean, you're pushing off with your legs. And like one thing I really tell a lot of athletes, and it even goes for anybody really, your legs are gases and brakes. So like hamstrings are going to be your brakes, right? And your gas is going to be your quads. So you're really going to be looking at things of what are you preventing? Like the most common thing you hear for like sprinters or anybody really going to the gym is like, oh, I pulled my hamstring. And it's like, well, what were you doing? Did you prepare your hamstring? Were you doing endurance for muscle strength? Were you just going too heavy? Have you not recovered properly? What was off? There's a lot of questions that go on to it. There's like a world-renowned weightlifting community. It's called Westside Barbell. And anybody can look them up. And that guy, they train insane. Like they're ridiculous. And like one of the things they do is they do like a hamstring prevention injury kind of program. And they do like 100 reps in between sets of resisted bands just to get the muscle acclimated to the weight that it's about to do. So like you asked about warm-ups, right? Like I'm pretty I don't know. I've never seen refs warm up. I'm pretty sure you guys do it like together, like in the room or something, just the same way like you do for hockey. You know, you set yourself somewhere else where nobody really watches.
Mm-hmm.
Like big thing. I don't like static stretching. So like static stretching is just like reaching for your toes and not moving. You know what I mean? Like those stretches aren't good when you're cold. The reason I say that is because that we learned through studies and everything is that it really causes more injury than not. And there's also a thing called ballistic stretching, and that's really harmful for the body. So what we like to do for like our athletes, for example, is we do dynamic stretching. So it's like the kind of like doing the jogs, you know, doing some jumps, doing some lunges, doing some twists and turns, really getting the body moving through all 3 planes of movement. Because as you know, when you're playing or when you're skating or when you're running, you're not in one like plane of motion. And when I mean plane of motion, like you're not just going forward, you're also going side to side. Like every body part is going through something different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you really want to get your body ready to go up and down, side to side, forward and back. Because your body is realistically cut into way too many places. Like it's like hips and up, hips and up, hips and down, hips and up. Your body's in half, your body's front and back. And in every aspect, you're doing something. It's like when you drop the puck, one leg is most of the time pivoting so it doesn't get smacked, or your arms are moving to the side and your legs are staying still. You know, you always need to be prepared. It's the fast twitches. And I'm pretty sure it's happened to you where you move too quick and you're like, oh, that did not feel good. You know?
Way too many times.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something we really want to like prevent, because like, you know, like if you've done that once or twice, you're like sometimes it's like a nagging injury, but like, you know, it doesn't hurt. It's just there.
Yep.
And you're just kind of like sitting on it like, man, like what the hell did I actually like do? And those are like the little things that we really want to prevent during warm-ups. Like we have our warm-up at RMU is like a total workout. I swear. It's a 16 minute warm-up. But we have it like dialed in, man. Like it's quick, it's fast, it has push-ups, it has jumping jacks. We have 3 different types of jumping jacks that we do before all of it. So like you do like regular, and then you go like side to side, and then you do like a running man style. Like you got to do all of those because, like I mentioned, you got to go through all 3 planes of the 3 main planes of movement. So it's a lot of preparedness, and we do that before like anything and everything. Unless you're coming straight out of practice, you know, like then you're already warm, you're already kind of hot, so we don't really need to warm up the body as much. So
Okay.
that like reffing wise, I would include something like that.
Okay,
Makes
so
sense.
before we get to the rink then, what are you telling players to eat, how much, when, where?
Okay, so with as far as nutrition goes, it's a little bit different for every athlete. Obviously, everybody's different sizes, different weights. But like general rule of thumb, we want a little before game days. We want more carbohydrates. They're just easier to put down. Good carbs, complex carbs, really. So something like sweet potatoes are really good. I always advocate those because you can just put cinnamon on them, keep the calories lower in the sugar aspect, and keep them more readily available for the body. You want lean meats, so you want like your chicken. If you're gonna eat ground beef or red meat in general, try to keep it to like a lower fat, so like 93.7, 95.5, you know, things like that. You just want to keep leaner meats. Fats go a long way. It just depends on what kind of fats you have. Like you have trans fats, you have monosaturated fats, like all that complicated stuff. So we're really just trying to keep it easy and good. On our way to the rink, I like suggesting something not too heavy, just because, you know, even if you skate, like even if you're just walking around and you eat something really heavy, you're going to feel heavy, you know? And then you have those guys that take like dumps before they play, and you know, you want to try to minimize the weight that everybody has. You know, if you feel heavy, you're going to feel heavy on the ice skating. So we try to really utilize the pre-game dinner. So like the night before the game, we try to really utilize the nutrition aspect. And then the same thing going into the next morning. We just want to make sure guys eat good lean meats, even if they're like for breakfast, if it's like good eggs, you know, egg whites. You know, they can have bacon, it's whatever. You just don't overdo it. You know, oatmeal is a real good choice. We have like cream of rice. We can have really anything that will satisfy the body, but give it enough energy and enough output, if that makes sense. I like personally, like for my brother, where he plays with the Brahmas out here in Lone Star, right? I really like having him have some BCAAs or EAAs, essential amino acids, before his game. It's just kind of like it's like a step before a protein shake, I guess you could say, for layman terms. It's light on the body. It keeps the protein levels up, so it helps with the muscles. It even helps with curbing hunger. It's just little things like that that really make a big difference. Some people like doing salads and everything. I don't really recommend that, especially if you're going to be playing games. You need the energy. You can even see it in the NHL. You see guys like you've seen Ovi take a Coke when he goes into overtime. It's because you want those sugars and those carbs to be shooting faster. Just gives you a better source of energy. Just because if you eat fats, it takes a lot longer for it to break down. Like, to put it in retrospect, protein and carbs have the same amount of calories, which is 4 calories per gram, when a fat has 9 grams of calories per gram of fat. That makes sense. So it's almost double the amount of energy. That's double the amount of energy that your body has to break down. And a lot of things that like world-class Ironman people do is that they eat a really high, like I wouldn't call it a keto diet or a carnivore diet, but it's a lot of high fats and high proteins. So when they actually do compete, they just load up on carbs, and that they're so insulin sensitive is that their body just absorbs it. So even for you guys, I would like even just a normal person really in general should be really watching the amount of carbohydrates they eat. So if they do something of like high energy requirements, it should be that you can bump up the calories and bump up the carbs so that you can get the most output.
Okay. Ross, go ahead.
I was just going to say that all definitely makes sense. And obviously for us, for players, it's, they're getting on the ice 45 seconds to a minute at a time, short bursts of energy. Whereas for us, we got to pace ourselves because we're on the ice the whole 60 minutes.
Exactly.
What kind of recommendation could you make as far as working on whether it be stamina or eating for making sure you have that energy throughout the game and not crashing, stuff like that?
Okay, so to start off with the stamina part, one thing that I've really seen that we do here at RMU that I've really liked is we do a thing called sprintability. So it's kind of, I don't know if you've ever heard of HIIT, like high intensity interval training.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing I really like incorporating with all sorts of athletes, being that you get most of your cardio, like I said, from the game. But to increase the stamina, we like to do sprintability. So it's like you can do, we call them pogos. You pretty much just jump in place for about 20 seconds. And then you have a 10-second rest. You move on to the next exercise. And that exercise can be like kettlebell swings. So you do kettlebell swings for 20 seconds. So you're just going through like a mini sprint, because sprints really don't last that long when you think about it. And in hockey, it's mainly you want to, as you guys know, it's like you want to go in the fastest straight line as you can. You don't necessarily want to be going into like a weird diagonal kind of thing unless you're the actual player and you're crossing over, catching speed. But for stripes, at least in my head, it's always up and down, So sprintability would be one thing I'd really work on, and that would be doing HIIT. And HIIT could be as simple as 20 minutes or 10 minutes of like actual hard, intense cardio. Okay. And that's like 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And you could do it as you could even do it at home. You could do 20 seconds of jumping jacks, and take 10 seconds off, another 20 seconds of squat jumps, take 10 seconds off. If you have a kettlebell, do 20 seconds kettlebell swings. And then you go on to the next one. And if you have a medicine ball, like a mini one or something, throw it on the ground 20 seconds, take 10 seconds off, and you just cycle through it and do 4 rounds.
Yeah, that kind of the high intensity training definitely makes sense for what we do.
So,
and then, go.
Really quick, if you were, so in theory, we work, or a lot of us work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think a lot of us, I know me personally, I go to the gym Monday through Thursday. Mm-hmm. What, as a trainer, would you recommend for that Monday through Thursday, training session?
Trying to think. I would, if it was up to me, since I would probably do it into a 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off kind of split. Mm-hmm. And so let's say you start on Monday, right? Monday would be our heavier days. So we would do we would split it up to an upper and a lower. So Monday we would do lower, because we want to preserve the legs as much as we can, right? Because we're not using our upper body as much when we're, I guess, I don't know, would you say dropping the puck or grabbing?
Yeah,
guys?
we don't use a whole lot of upper body.
Yeah, I don't know how to put it into words, but you guys are going to be using your legs a lot more than you are your arms,
Yeah.
So I would put Monday would be our leg day. So leg day, we could do it. We could do squat. We could do squat, and then we could do whatever else leg accessories we want to do. We could have 2 different programs. 1 week we would do quads and hamstrings, or we could do quads and hamstrings. So we could do squats and then already accessory work. A lot of prevention keeps the hips mobile. Being a big thing is that you're always in that athletic position, or we learned in a hockey position. You're always in that virtually a squatted position. So we really want to preserve the muscles and the joints as much as we can. Then after we do that heavy leg day, we would move on to more of like a, I guess you could say like a recovery state. It's more of a lighter accessory day. So for that day, we could do calves and arms or something. We could do, if you're really sore from the day before, you come and tell me, hey man, like yesterday we absolutely annihilated my body. And it's like, all right, well, let's do some stretching. Let's get some cardio in. You know, we could be in and out 45 minutes because you don't need to absolutely be in the gym for an hour, or for like 2 or 3 hours, you know? It's all about the stimulus. A lot of things I like to tell athletes is you want to stimulate, not annihilate. Because if you annihilate, you can't perform the next day that you need to do. And that goes into like our Wednesday, Thursday. Our Wednesday would be our push day, right? Our push, pull, whatever, upper day. So then we can do like bench and pull-ups, or we can do shoulder press and a bench press exercise, a pressing exercise. Usually you want to pair with like a push and a pull exercise if we're doing a whole body, so that we can get the most benefit when using different muscles. So like when you think about it, when you're pulling, like if you're pulling on a row, you're pulling with your back and you're pulling with your biceps and forearms, right? When you're pushing, like in a bench press, we're using our delts, our chest, and our triceps for the lockout. So if you can utilize and break down more muscle in a short amount of time, we're creating a higher stimulus, which in ultimate fact, we're burning more calories. We're destroying muscle, which will recover into adding more muscle. And we're going to just preserve more time for your recovery state. A big thing at RMU is that our workouts are only an hour. Like we don't go over and we don't go under. Like we have it dialed in. As soon as everyone's on the field, everybody's time conscious, stopwatches go, and we're just flowing. We also like to have fun, like on the lighter days. For athletes especially, and like even normal people can do it, we have a thing called SAQ, which stands for speed, agility, and quickness. And like I would even do it with you guys, because you can make it fun. You can make it very competitive if you have a partner. You could do you put like 4 cones down, and you can do like the box drills. You can do spins. You can do ins and outs. You can even do a star drill. We can even do lines. I know not everybody's into doing lines, but you can do lines. If your gym has like a prowler or a sled like turf, there's a lot of fun things you can do on that. Honestly, the lighter days are more of the fun days, because you can even do like, we call it arm farm, and all it does is just a big arm day, just to get the guys going. Even the girls love it. They love getting that pump going. So that would be our lighter days, and we could do it either way. More than anything, I would probably do like SAQs on the Thursday after the push and pull, and then I would probably do like some accessory work on like that Tuesday. Just because I'm pretty sure you guys travel, even if you're in like the Dallas area. Like I know you're out here in the DFW area, and there's plenty of games out here. But I'm pretty sure you guys travel to like Oklahoma or New Mexico, or
A lot of guys that would be listening to this, they're in the car a lot of hours every week.
Yeah, exactly.
Traveling around doing games here and there. So obviously the downtime in the car sucks because you're just sitting there, and then you're trying to get a workout in the hotel if the hotel's got a gym, which obviously isn't always the best. But we make do. We definitely try to make do with what we have, and it's definitely nice getting some feedback and some insight and some stuff that we should be doing on stuff like that. On our off days from skating.
Yeah, I think like you mentioned, I didn't even really think about it. Like being in the car for so long, and then going to the hotel and trying to work out. I think getting a good like 20-30 minute like lift, like a whole body lift, like you could even do a circuit, like a boot camp kind of style, what they call it, would be like just perfect. Just because getting off a car, off of van or a bus or whatever after like so many hours, you have like that lethargic feeling of like I don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? You just want to lay in the bed. You just want to eat. I think getting a quick 20-30 minute workout, like after you're settled in the hotel or whatever, is probably more than enough. Even just going for a walk and just doing some lunges, walking to a park or a parking lot and just doing something for a little bit will really get the blood flowing. Just because your legs and your whole body is just chilling. Like, you're just chilling in a car. There's nothing you can do about it,
Yep.
And that's a big thing.
So one other thing that I really wanted to touch on was the post game. So like, what would you do for like a recovery meal and even like a cool down after the game?
For a cool down, I like doing the more static stretching. So like going back to the static stretching would be like touching your toes, like really sitting into one stretch, like doing a butterfly stretch. And the reason for that is because your body is already hot and warm from doing whatever physical activity it might have been. So it doesn't lead to as many injuries. You're already hot, you're already cold. And plus you can get a bigger range of motion being that the muscles and the joints are already hot. So you would be able to get into a deeper, like if you're going to do a squat stretch, you would be able to get into it deeper than you would cold compared to being hot. So that would be a big thing. Even like having a cool down, like just going for a light, like 5-minute jog or 5-minute walk, just good solid pace, just getting it down. Could even do some push-ups, keep the heart rate up a little bit and then slowly drop it. So that would be as far as like doing post-workout stuff. Going into the nutrition after would be pretty much the same as you would do the pregame meal. So we would add a little bit more fats in just to get the body metabolism going, last a lot longer. Definitely add carbohydrates back into it, especially like you guys mentioned, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you're already skating Friday, you need to fuel back up for that Saturday night game, Saturday evening game, whatever. And then you got to do it again on Saturday. You got to fuel up again so you're ready for Sunday.
Yep.
Sunday, I would keep it to like Sunday you could have a relaxed day. I know it's probably not as easy to get like high quality foods, like high quality meats and potatoes and things like that. Especially being in a hotel, not every hotel has like a kitchen. Definitely making smarter food choices that way would be a great idea. But as far as like as much as that is controlled, I would definitely say higher quality meats and a little bit higher proteins would be great. Because even if you're just skating, you're breaking down muscle. Because you're being very physically active.
And since we're going down the diet trail here, like we got the, I guess, fattish diets, which would be like keto and paleo and this and that. Is there anything like particular one that we should stay away from or try to do, or like what would be your best advice with making sure we're eating the right things and not just obviously getting something passed to us through our car window?
Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to diets, I don't really like any diets. And this is a thing I've thought about for a long time and a lot of reading and a lot of studying. Just because diets, like you said, they're fad diets. They don't last so long. Like, how long can you be on a keto diet and not have anything bad happen? Being like keto, for example, is very, very high protein, very fat diet, and very minimal carbs, right? You don't need carbohydrates to survive, first of all. So like they have that down. As an athlete though, or just as a physical activity person, having carbohydrates is a big plus because it's a real easy energy source. And then like paleo and Mediterranean diets, they're very, not necessarily high in fats, high in carbs or anything, but they're like the healthier options, I guess you could say, because they're closer to what we ate like a million years ago, which was just animals, really, and whatever else we could scavenge and hunt for. My biggest thing is, I guess it really depends on your goals. So if you're, first and foremost, I really think people are afraid of fats when fats are 100% needed in a diet. Like, people are afraid of fats like they're afraid of carbs. Fats are needed in the diet. I'm not saying you need to eat 100 grams of fats, but having a good like 20% of your diet or 20% of your calories really should be from fats, being that fats are responsible for hormone productions in the human body. So if you cut out all your fats, especially for like a man, where your levels of testosterone, really, you're going to feel really slow. You're going to feel really sluggish. Your sexual activity is going to feel down. You're not going to feel so much like a man, like the main thing of a man is testosterone. And a lot of testosterone development comes from the fats that you eat from red meats, or you can get them from nuts, but they're not the same as getting it from red meats.
Yeah.
So like that's a big thing that I really push for athletes, like on off seasons, for people trying to put on muscles and everything, and trying to like get a better body composition. I really push fats as like, don't be afraid of them, because they can make up a big percentage of your calories. You just want to make sure you don't eat too much of them, because then you'll get fat.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
And like carbs like they're the best tasting things. Like to me, they're the best tasting things. Like I love my brownies, man. Brownies and Coke Zero are my thing. But the reason why a lot of people like to cut carbs out is because they're the easiest thing to cut out, because you can get so lost in eating so many. Like my favorite things are like cosmic brownies, like the little Debbie brownies with the rainbow things on them.
Yep.
Like I eat one of those and that has like 50 grams of carbs and it's like 300 calories.
Yeah.
And I can sit there and stuff like the whole box down my mouth, and there goes my whole diet for the day.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of people like cutting out carbs, because it's easier to cut out your calories. When you're really sitting down and eating, you should really eat your proteins first, your protein and fat first, because the protein will fill you up faster than the fat and carbs will.
Yeah.
So if like you're having like
Because it's more dense, right?
Exactly, and it takes longer for the body to break down than fat carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So you got the concept. You want to fill yourself up before you're actually like just gouging down a bunch of rice or potatoes, and then you get to your meat and you don't even finish it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when like a lot of things that a lot of kids I've seen don't like eating breakfast, and like I'm not saying breakfast is the most important meal, because I generally don't think so. I think breakfast is kind of like just an extra way to get calories in, or to keep you not so hungry for lunch.
I'm a big breakfast guy. I gotta
You're a
have
big
my
breakfast guy?
eggs and coffee and bacon.
See, like do you use the whole egg?
Yeah, I just do scrambled eggs.
See, like if you wanted to cut calories, like if you're trying to lose weight but keep your protein levels up.
Well, yeah, get rid of the yolk.
Exactly.
And just
And
do
a lot
the
of
egg
people
whites.
don't know that. Yep, exactly. And a lot of people don't see that you can do small changes like that to just make a big difference, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you're eating 6 eggs, you're eating 6 yolks. Like, okay, man, like you can take a few of those yolks out and cut your calories and still enjoy your pancakes, your oatmeal, whatever you like.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So really quick, you are part of Zerps Barbell. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Zerps.
Yeah. So talk about a little bit about that. Like, I mean, I follow your guys' Instagram page and whatnot. Like, shout yourself out for that.
So Zerps kind of just started a couple years ago. It was just something I wanted to start doing, to pass knowledge, just talk about random things, just pretty much just be myself. Being that a lot of people don't know that I'm a type 1 diabetic. So a big thing of my Zerps started off as like nutrition, just overall knowledge, trying to get awareness out that you don't have to be an old person to have diabetes and things like that. There's plenty of kids out there, like sadly, that, you know, have autoimmune diseases, not just diabetes. And overall nutrition is a big aspect of what we live in as a society now. A lot of people think you need to have a lot of money to be healthy, and it's honestly a lot more about choices and what you can do, because you can live on chicken and rice your whole life, but it's not as fun and it's not as nutritious, you know? So
Yeah,
it's really
exactly.
trying to do that. Yeah. And another aspect of like Brenden said, it was just we played hockey together as a kid, and like I played for UTEP, and it was really of the turning of, man, what could I have done different? And one of the biggest mistakes I made, like training as like a teenager, was I was training like a bodybuilder, not training like an athlete.
Yeah.
And that's a huge misconception that I see with young athletes, is that they want to train like bodybuilders. They think they need to be big and super strong to be successful, because they see the pros that are that big, but the pros have been doing it for 10, 15 years already, and that's why they look like that. Like I was saying earlier, like in your warm up, you want to train in every like direction that you can, whether it's up and down, side to side. So that's why I started that, so I could try to really help kids navigate where they want to go. If they want to be bodybuilders, great. We can train you like bodybuilders. If you want to train like a power lifter, train like a power lifter. If you want to truly train like an athlete, train like an athlete. And that means not doing just like a bro split, like having a chest day and then having a back day and then having a squat day.
Yeah.
It's truly utilizing every minute that you can as much as you can, creating as much stimulus. That was the real reason why I started Zerps, and hopefully eventually, once I'm done in the university realm or the college realm, I can open up my own facility, and that'd be sick.
I think that wraps up this interview. Fabian, thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure. Awesome. I mean, guys, go check out his Instagram page. It's awesome. There's so many good workouts on there. And again, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
That interview was brought to you by Rolo Golf. 15% off at the golf store on their website. Use code Stripes15 to get 15% off of all their polos. They have gloves, they have socks, they have masks. It's a great company. I love them. I'm still waiting on my polo to get here, but when it does, you'll be the first people to see it. It'll be all over our page. So a little bit about the interview to wrap it up. I thought it was really good, super informative. Ross, what were your thoughts?
I definitely want to follow up on him and maybe try to do some kind of maybe little mini video series of like even just warm up stuff, like not necessarily because we have to use it, but having input from somebody that kind of knows what they're doing is always good, because you never know, there's could be something that we're doing is wrong and we could be doing better. So it's always nice to have that resource for the health and fitness stuff. I would say maybe if anyone's got any kind of like health and fitness questions, let us know, and then maybe we can set up some kind of like Q&A with your buddy, and we
I can definitely send those questions over to him and get them answered, because Lord knows he knows way more than we do about that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like guys, feel free to send over questions about it, whether it's a workout routine, nutrition, whatever it may be. DM us on any social media, email us. I don't care. We will get the question to them, get a response, and fire that back to you as quickly as possible.
Perfect. And then to kind of circle back to the mental health stuff, I will say, and this goes kind of beyond hockey. Obviously, with quarantine and all that other stuff that we've had to deal with this year, a lot of people are having issues from, being in quarantine, being home alone, not being able to go to the rink and see the boys, possibly, some of us, lost our jobs or got furloughed, or, just the stresses that have come along with all of this. Take care of yourself mentally. If you have issues, don't be afraid to pick up the phone, call your primary, and try to maybe get in with a psychologist or a therapist, whatever. I can't stress enough that if any of you guys out there having any sort of mental health issues, there are plenty of resources out there for everyone to have access to. Some are free. If you have your health insurance, whatever your situation is, there's someone out there that can help you work through whatever it is that you're going through in life. And just like I said, take care of your mental health, because I tell you, like for me, I've had my fair share of issues, and having help getting through all of it has definitely made my journey back to being me a lot easier and a lot, I guess, a lot more rewarding. Rewarding in the sense of being me again, because I did kind of lose myself for a little while. through divorce a couple years ago, and then these mental health issues that I'm still dealing with. But it's just something that's very important, and I can't just stress enough. Like, if you feel like you need help, get it. Don't worry about, oh, he goes to see this or whatever. Like, screw the stigma that goes along with it. Take care of yourself, and also, take care of your friends. If you see somebody struggling, something we always used to talk about in the Air Force is, I had a wing commander that used to say I would always ask somebody 3 times the same question of how are you doing today? Because usually the first time you ask them, they'll give you the Air Force answer, which is so they'd be like, "Hey, Airman Cromaldi, how are you today?" "Good, sir." "No, Airman Cromaldi, really, how are you?" "Oh, I'm good." "Airman Cromaldi, tell me, how are you today?" "Well, here's actually what's going on." So, like, if you ask somebody 3 times, they're either going to tell you to F off, which means they're fine, or maybe not, but they also are, more likely to maybe open up to you. So take care of yourselves, take care of your friends, take care of your family. And that's my soapbox about mental health. I hope that's all right, Brenden.
Oh, it is more than okay. I think that wraps up this episode, though. It was an awesome episode. And really quickly before we forget, obviously go follow us on all of our social medias. And as I've been pushing for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're at 951 at the time of this recording. So we are 49 away.
Ooh, okay.
49 people.
Will we know who the 1,000th subscriber is?
So, yes, but I have been thinking, and to make it fair for
Well,
everybody,
what I
we're
actually
gonna do
know,
a giveaway.
what I think we should do is when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we do some sort of giveaway.
Yep.
We're gonna come up with what it is, and
Right.
I think I got a couple of ideas of what we could do.
Good.
And then we'll also talk to Logan and Brandon about what they think. And let's get to 1,000 subscribers.
Yep.
But let's tell some of your other referee friends to check this out. Listen to me and Brenden ramble on about nonsense and hockey and jerseys and everything else. But we're gonna come up with something good. I think I got a couple of good ideas.
Yeah, so there will be a giveaway of some sort that if you are a subscriber, you'll automatically be entered. We'll figure all that out when we hit the other 49 subscribers we need. But I do want to say thank you for everybody that has subscribed in the past 28 days. That's just the number that's popped up on YouTube. We've jumped up 31 subscribers, which is huge. We appreciate it. And
well, you know why we jumped up 31?
Why?
Because you were doing the episode by yourself. No one wants to hear me talk.
I was thinking there was 31 teams, so like I made a friend on one team. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, true.
But that wraps up episode 76 of the Team Stripes podcast. We'll be back next week with another great episode. And thank you guys, as always, for listening.
All right, everybody, take it easy.